Step right up to the glittering chaos of ABC Studios in the heart of Times Square, New York City, where the air crackles with that unmistakable pre-show frenzy on this golden October afternoon in 2025, the date marking episode 47 of The View's landmark 29th season, live and unfiltered before a sold-out crowd of 250 die-hard devotees clutching Whoopi's wisdom totes and steaming soy lattes, their excited whispers weaving through the crew's final frenzy of mic checks, light tweaks, a stagehand hissing no spoilers on the Bianca Tilda copyright segment. Into a headset, Whoopi Goldberg, the eternal anchor in her emerald caftan swirling like a sage's robe, commands the Hot Topics table with a knowing grin, flanked by her powerhouse posse, Sunny Hostin, the legal in sapphire silk, thumbing through notes on Supreme Court whispers Sarah Haynes, the sunshine mediator in sunny yellow, her laughter already bubbling like a preemptive punchline Alyssa Fair Griffin, the poised provocateur in pearl white power suit, eyeing her coffee with calculated comment reigning at the end, Joy Behar, the 83-year-old firestorm in fiery orange blouse, her iconic bob bobbing with every emphatic gesture, that Brooklyn bite sharpened by decades of dishing dirt and dodging drama. The opener ignites with the week's wild fury, the Bianca Tilda copyright Cowboy Carter remix drama still smoldering since its spring release, Joy launching first with her signature cackle, listen, bass-laid country, but Dolly's Jolene remix, Jeannie Yusuf. Though the original's got that desperate housewife vibe, anti-feminist much laughter laps the room, Whoopi thumping the table in agreement, Sunny dissecting the genre gatekeeping with stats on black artists in Nashville, Alyssa countering with its evolution, not a Rajuria country's big enough for all queens. While Sarah mediates with a mimed mic drop, the panel's patented push-pull drawing whoops and a smattering of skeptical snorts from the bleachers. But the marquee moment, hyped in glossy Good Morning America teasers as country royalty rides in, is the guest extraordinaire, Reba McEntire, the red-headed tornado of twang and tenacity, fresh off her Broadway revival of Annie Get Your Gun and a Netflix special that's got Grammys buzzing, here to hawk her memoir Not That Kind of Girl, unfiltered, a rollicking ride through rodeo roots, Reynolds romances, and her unyielding anthem of authenticity. Reba sashays on stage in rhinestone jeans and a fringed vest that screams Oklahoma glamour, her mile-wide smile disarming the room as she air kisses Joy. Darlin', you look fierce as ever. And settles into the guest throne with a prop Stetson tipped jauntily, the crowd erupting in a twang-tastic ovation that shakes the rafters, chants of Reba, Reba. Echoing like a hoedown hooteny, Whoopi dives in warm, Reba, queen, spill on the booka any tea on that Vegas residency where you outsang the slots. Reba's laugh booms, rich as red clay, launching into a yarn about a backstage mishap with Blake Shelton where fireworks meant for the finale fizzled in her dressing room. Honey, I thought I'd gone to heaven early as sparks everywhere, but not the fun kind. Sarah's in hysterics, clutching pearls. Sunny probes her influences from Tammy Wynette to Taylor Swift. Alyssa asks about Hollywood's double standards for divas, and Joy, ever the instigator with a glint like a gambler's gold tooth, steers sharp, Reba, love. Your book's got sass on showbiz survival, but let's get real, country's having a moment with Bianca Tilda copyright, and some say Dolly's classics are, well, a tad outdated. Thoughts? The audience hums, a ripple of intrigue as Reba's eyes sparkle with that McEntire mischief, her drawl dripping honeyed steel. Outdated, darlin', Dolly's timeless like fine bourbon, gets better with age. Jolene's a heartbreak howler, not a handbook hits storytelling. Pure and simple. Joy chuckles, but there's an edge, her follow-up landing like a lasso. Storytelling? Sure, but that pleading Tony don't take my man? Kinda weak sauce for today's women, no? Bay flipped it fierce. Laughter laps lighter now. Whoopi zoo, shots fired, a velvet warning too soft, as Reba leans in, Stetson shadowing a subtle squint. Weak? Joy, sugar. I've sung stronger songs in saloon scraps than most folks dream. Dolly's got grit wrapped in glitter. It's empowerment through vulnerability, not victimhood. The table tenses ever so, Sarah shifting like a referee sensing a foul, Sunny nodding nuanced agreement, Alyssa whispering Team Reba, while producers in the booth exchange steady-on glances. the clock ticking toward the commercial chasm. For a heartbeat, it's balanced banter, X lighting up with #Reba on view quips and quick clips of her zinger going mini viral. But Joy, scenting the sizzle for segments eternal, doubles down with a zesty zinger. Vulnerability? Come on, Reba. In 2025, we don't beg, we boss. Your book's all about that, right? Or is country still stuck in the Stand By Your Man swamp? The studio stills, a collective inhale as Reba's smile holds, but her fingers drum the armrest like a drumbeat to doom. Her retort a velvet thunderclap. Swamp, honey, I've pulled myself from tighter spots than your hot take has. A country's evolved, but heart's the root, not hashtags. Don't knock the classics till you've crooned them. Gasps garnish the glee, the crowd split in a symphony of snaps and murmurs, cameras craving every crinkle of crow's feet fury. Little does the live wire know, this Dolly defense's dynamite's doorstep. The twang tightens, temper teetering toward the shutdown that'll silence the view's siren song and send shockwaves from Sunset Strip to Studio City, rewriting rules on respect in the round table rodeo. As the ad arrow looms, Whippy whispers off mic pivot, ladies, but the powder's primed, the clash careening toward cataclysm in a confetti of controversy. Snap back from the break with the view's vivacious Vortex logo vortexing like a vinyl spin. The set now a simmering cauldron where Joy Behar's Stand By Your Man swipe hangs heavy as humidity in July, the audience amped and anxious, front row fans fanning themselves with programs printed with Joy's jabs while whispering wagers on whether Reba's restraint will rupture or ride out the rodeo. Sunny, the smooth operator in her silk sanctuary, attempts anchor. Reba, let's lasso lighthearted. Tell us about that Annie revival breaking a leg or two on Broadway. Sarah chimes cheerily, yeah, spill the stage secrets of any wardrobe whoops. But Joy, unbridled as a bronco, barrels back with a Brooklyn bellow. Hold the horses, Galsa Reba, your book's brutal on backstabbing in Nashville, but come on, defending Dolly's doormat dirges. In this era of girl boss anthems, it's like cheering for the underdog who stays down. The crowd crackles, a wave of ooze washing over as Reba rises ramrod straight, her fringed vest flaring like feathers in fight mode, voice a velvet violin strung with steel strings. Doormat, Joy, darlin', Dolly's a diamond and denim. She turned pain into platinum, built empires on empathy. You call it weak, I call it warrior. I've worn those boots, blazed those trails without begging for breadcrumbs. Whippy's wisdom weighs in with a whoop. Preach, Reba. A hard over hustle sometimes wins the West. But it's gasoline on Joy's gale, her orange blaze bunching as she bounds up, earrings swinging like saloon signs. Warrior, honey, begging Jolene not to steal your fellas straight out of the 50s playbook of anti-empowerment. Beyond K tilde copyright busted. Why cling to the clingy? The table transmogrifies into a twister of twang and tantrum. Barb's barreling like bucking broncos, Alyssa allies with Joy. Easy Reba's right, classics catalyze change. Sarah's sunny plus a hug it out, Queens. A dissolve in the dust. Sunny cites sociological shifts in songwriting, her spectacles steaming from the steam. Reba's retorts roll like river rapids, clingy. I've clutched mix through divorce is darker than your dyes. Joy Dolly didn't cling, she conquered with class. While some sling shade from safety, Joy jabs jubilantly, safety? I've survived cancellations tougher than your comebacks. Your country's cute, but it's corseted, time to course it off. The audience avalanche half hollering Reba rules. In rhythmic rapture, the other oohing Joy's got jokes. As smartphones surge for the social supernova, #Reba shuts view spiking like a singles chart smash. TikTok's teasing Reba's glare with guitar riffs, Instagram igniting with cowgirl clash carousels. The booth's a blizzard of bellows a rap. Now, a producer's pounding panels, execs erupting in expletives. This is Emmy or exile? As the overrun oozes ominous, 3 minutes melting into mayhem. Whippy's interventions evaporate like evaporating espresso. Alyssa's analysis awash in all whispers, iconic implosion. Sarah live streaming snippets with shaky thumbs. Y'all, it's ya versus yap. Reba's Stetson shadows a storm in her sapphire eyes. Memoir clutched like a cattle prod. Shade, sugar, I've shaded storms and sung sunrise. Your empowerment echoes empty without the ache that aches real. Dolly's my sister disser, You dissed the dawn we all chased. Joy counters with cackle crescendo. Ache, try awakening. Reba, your red state reveries romanticize repression. I've liberated laughs from liberals' laps. The guards a shadowy ABC sentries in sleek black a slither stageward. Walkie crackles camouflaged in the clamor, as Reba unclips her mic with deliberate drawl. Liberated, from what? Joyless jabs? This view's veiled venom. I've got Grammys, not grudges. Time to get up out of this gripe fest. But Joy's unyielding, finger flying like a flisswater. Get up, gallop away if you can't gallivant with grit. Proves my point. Country's all cowboy, no clout. The frenzy fractures further, crowd crests in cacophony, boos blending with bravos. A heckler hollering plain nice, New York. A cameras clinging cruelly to every contorted contour. The air acrid with adrenaline and artisanal air freshener. Social scrolls sear, YouTube yanking unedited urgency. Racking replays rivaling red carpet riots. Sex exploding with Reba rodeo on the view threads. Memes morphing Joy's jab into Jolene lyrics looped. Reba's hand hovers on her hat brim. Joy's glare a gauntlet thrown, hurtling headlong into the hurricane that'll have her harnessing to halt. Shutting down the showdown in a spectacle of southern steel that silences the sirens and spotlights. A shutdown for the spunky spirit of showbiz. This ain't chit-chat no more, it's a corral corralled by conviction. The country colossus clashing crowns with the comedy's arena in a cadence of courage and critique. The denouement dawning like a dust devil on the horizon. Thunderclap of the tipping tempest touches down as Joy Behar's cowboy no cloud quip quests the quicksand. Quaking Reba McEntire's genteel grit into a gale force goodbye that gusts the view into gasping gridlock. Clout? Darlin', I've got more clout in my closet than your quips carry. A security, sweeties, saddle up this cowgirl's clinet, before the bull wears the horns. Reba roars, her twang transmuting to tornado timbre. Stetson slammed on the table like a sheriff's star as she springs skyward, fringes flying like flags in fury. The memoir margining them mess like a manifest of might. The audience annihilates an anarchy absolute. Reba's ranch hands rampaging with Ride On, Queen. Roars resonant as rodeo rounds. Joy's jamboree jousting back with stay and spar. Shrills sharp as shattered spurs. A skybox siren screeching yell shut down. To stun Snickers slicing the stun. Whippy's well wobbles. Caftan clutched in crisis. Reba, hold the horse as a hearts, not harnesses. Sunny's summaries scatter like spooked steers. Sarah's sobs of side-splitting shock shuddering her seat. Alyssa's awestruck applause accidental amid the affray. This is twang triumph. Joy jackrabbits upright, blouse ballooning belligerently. Horns? Honey, your horns woggle to dash if you can't dazzle with debate. Proves country's all corral, no conquest. Her hailstorm harangue hammers home, but Reba's resolve rivets like riveted rails. Her silhouette silhouetted in spotlight scorn. Conquest. I've conquered charts and calamities without your condescension. A Dolly's dynasty dawned on dreams you dismiss. This view's a viper's vestibule. Venom over vision. Adios, agitators. I've got harmonies higher than this hullabaloo. The stewards storm in, strapping ABC wranglers in whisper weaves. One lassoing Reba's arm with lenient lilt. Miss McEntire, ma'am. Green room Grace awaits iced tea on tap. The other outposts Joy's onward onslaught. Her lipstick a lacerated lash as she lashes. Tea? Trot back to Tulsa. Twandra we wrangle real reckonings here, not rhinestone retreats. The gallery geezers and gale force glee groans. A torrent of turmoil. TikToks torrenting the tussle for timeless torment. Where Reba shuts view surges supersonic, surpassing Super Bowl spikes. Reba reigns at the rampart, turning with twilight tenacity. One parting parry pitched. Retreat? It's reclamation. Joy. Real reckonings respect roots, not ridicule. Read the epilogue. It's for firebrands like us. Fierce but fair. Then whoosh, all she's whisked into the wings. Door dinging like a dinner bell to deliverance, bequeathing the broads a bewildered banquet of blank stares. Joy jettisons into her perch, palm patting her pulse in perplexed pant. Well, that was Western. Who's next for nuggets? Whippy wheezes a rap. Commercial corral stat. The break banner bomb as the booth bolts into bedlam baroque. Litigators lunging for lexicons. Spin misters minting spirited standoff silver linings. Devotees devour the DA tilde copyright mint digitally. YouTube yowls with raw reels remixed to fancy fanfares and Behar blasts, ballooning billions in blinks. Instagram inundates with cowgirl exitology essays, exhales exhaustive epics of empathy versus edge. ABC's arteries avalanche acclaim from Americana allies, Reba rained righteous, ire from urban upstarts, View vandalized by veto, edicts emerging for encore engagements. Reba's receipts rocket a memoir, milestones multiply 700%, Netflix snapping Reba's reckoning rundowns, her trailblazer torched anew as tenacious titan. Joy, she jousts the jolt and the jockey back, owning with outrageous, y'all. Lives a lasso, sometimes it loops loose. Reba's a revelation we rustled over reverence. Pardon the pinchin' now. Alyssa's autumn aesthetics. The throng thunders tempered triumph. The tumult a tapestry of their tenacious angles. Tidbeats trickle in the trenches. Was it the book's barbed ballad on blue state busybodies belittling ballads that barbed the bull, or Joy's pre-plug prod about Reba's Reynolds reticence? Veracity veiled in variety vignettes, but the verdict's visceral, vivacity's volatile vein. One volley from victory to vortex. As ovations ebb, Sonny sighs off Mick. That's the twang that'll trend till Thanksgiving. Reba's retreat to the Ritz resonates with reflective riffs, and not my noisiest number, but noise births new notessa while Joy jots a jaunty jot. Sorry-ish, Sparrow, you're still sparkly supper in Soho. Her hooted hail a horseshoe emoji, and heck yeah, post-hoof a hints at harmony over the horizon. The ruckus, renegade riches for remembrance panels parsing politesse versus punchlines. Galas gilded with gracious guffaws, but for the nons, it's narrative nectar, a narrative of nerve and nuance. Tableside, protocols proliferate, producers prep for peril, perceiving one-shot stage can supernova syndicate. Tune tomorrow, trailblazersate more tempestuous. With The View, it's vivaciously vexed, a vaudeville of valor veiled in verve. Fade to fiesta, but the firestorm, fantastically unfading.